In today's class, I'll explain finding the missing number of a percent. Let me start with an easy example. Let's say that find, let's say 20% of 20% of 40. I know it's very easy and you can solve it. Let me solve this one. Say that it is 20% means 20 over 100. I hope you remember that when you see this symbol percent, it is understood that over 100. Half means, please don't forget, it is times. Half means nothing but times. So 20% of 40 means 20 over 100 times 40. As we discussed in the previous sessions, if the last digit of a number is 0, in the numerator and denominator you can cancel out. And in butterfly method, it is 40 divided by 10 because already we cancelled 1 0. So we are left with 10 in the denominator. So 40 divided by 10, that gives you that 4. So 2 times 4, the answer is it is simply 8. It is a very easy question. I know that it's an easy question. So what is 20% of 40 means? We know that the answer is 8. Now let's assume that one moment, let me duplicate this one. Now I'm going to take the important part of the today's lesson. Let's assume that this value is missing and how to figure out this one. That is one question. And second one is, instead of that, let's say the percentage is missing, this is missing, then what percent of 40 equals to 8? Okay, so you'll be having two kind of questions. The first one is 20% of what number equals to 8? Of course, I know the answer is 40 because just now we have done it. What percentage of 40 equals to 8? This is the second model. Okay, so let's go to the next page. An example is, let's say that 20% of a number equals to 12. Here I don't want you to guess. 20% means 1/5 of what number could be 12. So instead of 12, let me change it because I know you are very good at guessing. So let me change the number that 20% of a number equals to 17. What is the number? Okay. Actually, I strongly recommend at this point to use the algebra. In the previous classes already I discussed that how to use algebra. Each and every part, please take utmost care, each and every part. So here, first of all, let me start with the 20. Percent symbol means we have to take the denominator 100. Half means times, and a number. Actually, we don't know what is the value of this number. In my previous classes, I mentioned that if you don't know what is the value of a missing number, you can take a variable. Variable means an English alphabet, A through Z, anything you can take. But majority of the time we take X. equals to 17. So let me recapitulate the one which I taught earlier. Suppose a number is added to 2, what is the value of, the result is 5. What is the value of the missing number means? You can say that it is 3, because you can guess, you can guess like this: 1 plus 2, is it 5? No. 2 plus 2, is it 5? No. 3 plus 2, is it 5? Yes, it is. But instead of that, in my last class, I said that you go for inverse operation. That is, take, if there is positive sign, in fact, if you want to isolate the variable, how to eliminate the constant, that means the number, how to isolate and remove this one means you have to go for inverse operation. Inverse operation means you take the opposite sign, the same value, and you have to take the same value on both the sides. This is called as balancing method. In fact, we discussed in our previous classes this one. So when you do that, positive to negative 2, when you simplify, you'll end up with 0. So I'm not writing any. 5 minus 2 equals to 3. There are 4 rules. This is the first rule. And next, so this is addition. Suppose if a number is subtracted, the result is, say, 7. How to find the value of x means here. Again, you have to go for inverse operation of negative sign, that is positive. So add 2 on both the sides. Please remember, if you add something on the left side, you have to do the same thing on the right hand side. If you subtract something on the left side of the equal to sign, then you have to do the same thing on the other side. So here negative to positive 2, when you simplify, you'll when you simplify or when you add, then what happens is you will end up with 0. 7 plus 2 equals to 9. Again, if you have any questions, whatever the value you got, just plug in the value of the variable. So 9 minus 2, is it equals to 7 means yes, it is. And next, rule 3 is a number is multiplied by 3 and the result is 12. So the inverse operation of multiplication is division. So I'm dividing by 3 so that the variable x is isolated. I'm dividing by 3 on both the sides by 3. Therefore, 3 over 3 means 3 divided by 3. That gives me 1. So 1 time x, it is x only. 12 over 3 equals to 4. As I mentioned before, if you have any questions, just plug in back the value of x. Say x times 3 is 12, so 4 times 3 is 12. Yes, it is right. Okay. So the last part is, let's say x divided by 2 equals to 5. Okay. Now, sometimes I may keep this symbol as a division by 2, or else I may write this one as a fraction. Doesn't matter. Okay. So here 2 is in the denominator means it is understood that it is dividing. The inverse operation of division is multiplication. So 2, you know that in butterfly method, 2 over 2 means they gets cancelled. The value of x equals to 5 times 2, that is 10. If you want, you can plug in back. So here altogether 4 points I discussed with you. That is, if there is addition, to eliminate that we subtract the same value on both the sides. The subtraction is associated with the variable. Then how to eliminate means we go for inverse operation. Then we add on both the sides the same value. If there is multiplication, the inverse operation is division. If there is division, the inverse operation is multiplication. Now, how is it connected to our problem means here Our goal is to isolate x. So for that, what we have to do is we have to eliminate one after the other which are associated with the variable. Now I see that 100 is in the denominator. 100 is in the denominator. Denominator means I would say that this is dividing, right? So what is the inverse operation of division means? That is multiplication. That's what we discussed here, right? So times 100, then 17 times 100. Please remember, when you add something, you have to add the same value on both the sides. When you subtract something, then you have to subtract the same value on the other side of the equal to sign, and so on. When you multiply with some value, you have to do it on both the sides. Now, again, by butterfly method, this is 100 divided by 100. So 100 divided by 100 means that is one time. Then you are left with 20 times x equals to 17. I'll multiply this one later, times 100. As I told you before, our goal is to isolate x value. So how to detach 20? I see that it is multiplying. The inverse operation of multiplication is division. So division by 20 and division by 20 on both the sides. So 20 over 20, 20 divided by 20, that gives me 1. One time this variable. In fact, 1 here we need not consider, because if you take one apple or apple, that means the same. In the same way, x or 1x, it makes no difference. Now, 100 divided by 20, 100 divided by 20, 0, 0 may be cancelled. 10 over 2, that gives me 5. 17 times 5, 17 times 5, it is 85. It may look little long process, but it is not. So let me explain the same question once again, really quick in the next page. 20% of what number equals to 17? In fact, in the previous page, I explained a little bit of algebra. That is the reason it has taken more time. Otherwise, let me take 20% of a number equals to 17. What is the number? That's the question. So here this number is missing. Let me assume that x. Therefore, it is 20%. So 20% means, don't forget, we have to take the denominator 100 times x equals to 17. We have to eliminate these values one after the other. So if I want to eliminate 100, then it is dividing. Please notice that it is in the denominator. Denominator means that is dividing. Inverse operation of division is multiplication. That is to be done on both the sides. 100 divided by 100 equals to 1. 1 time 20, I'll get that 20x. I'm not simplifying. Let it be 17 times 100. Now, how to eliminate this 20? I see that it is multiplying with x, and I want to isolate x. So if I want to isolate x, somehow I have to get rid of this 20. So how to get rid of this 20 means the inverse operation of multiplication is division by 20. Don't forget, you have to divide on both the sides. So 20 over 20 gets cancelled. X equals to 0, 0 cancelled. 2 times 5. So this is 85. Okay? Well, 25% of a number equals to 12.5. What is the number? You think for a moment and then you may start working on this. You may pause the video for a moment and work it on paper and then check your answer. Uh, how to solve this one means 25%. As I mentioned before, just plug in the values and follow the steps. Percent symbol is given. What you have to do is take the denominator is 100. Half means don't forget that times. And you know here the number is missing, so let me take that this number missing number as x equal to 12.5. Okay, now 25 or 100 means I know that you may like to change this one into fractions. If I take 1/4 and if I take 4/4, therefore I would say that 1/4 of x equals to 12.5. Again, as I mentioned before, here I see that 4 is dividing. Our goal is to isolate the variable. Now, how to cancel out this 1/4 means I see that 4 is in the denominator, which means it is dividing. So, what is the inverse operation of division means? That is times. So, times 4 on both the sides. Again, in butterfly method, 4 divided by 4, that gives me 1. 1 time 1, that is 1. 1x, I told you that x are 1x, it's 1 and same, because apple or 1 apple is same. Now 12 point times 4. So 12 point times 4, 4 times 5 is 20, 2 is there, 4 2 is 8 plus 2, 10, 4 ones are 4 plus 1, 5. Don't forget to keep this decimal. So after decimal, it has no value, therefore 50. The value of x is 50. Now, still I don't believe whether my question, whatever the answer I got, is that correct or not? I'm not really sure. So what you can do is, you take 25% of a number, 25% of a number equals to 12.5. This is the given question. Now, whatever the value of x you got, x means nothing but this is the value of the number. So you take 25 over 100 of a number, that number I got 50 equals to 12.5 or not, please check it. Again, I'm going for butterfly method cancellation. So 0 and 0 gets cancelled. Now, 5 table, 5 times 2, 5 times 1. Now 25 over 2, that is equals to 12.5 and 12.5. Now I see that my left hand side, what are the value I got, and it's given on the right hand side, they're the same. So my calculation part, it went well, and the value of the missing number is 50. That is correct. Okay, questions on this? Now I want you to take this question and solve this. The question is 17% of a number is 12.75. You may pause the video for a moment, work it on the paper, and check your answer with my answer later. Here, the first step to solve this one is you have to transform the given statement into an equation. So 17, let me copy the same. Several times I told you that percentage symbol is given, take the denominator is 100. Of a number, I know that this is missing. So half means times a number is x is, this indicates that, equal to 12.75. Okay. Now our goal is to isolate x. So we have to detach and eliminate the other values. So the value of the variable here, it is 75. That is correct. Again, if you get a doubt whether is this correct or not, means always you can plug in back whatever the value you got in the place of the missing number, and you can check what is 17% of 75. If you compute, then you will realize that that is 12.75. Okay,
equals 62.
absolutely the right answer. Yes, that's the correct answer. Good job. Okay then.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, bye bye.